Hello, I feel much better now and I'm ready to go. But yeah, I have no good outro or intro. It's insane. No, outro is good, but intro is really shitty. But I will give my best. Today's topic will be about to start actually anything and really to bring it to finish. I guess let's start. The gap between an idea and a finished project can feel huge. Let's bridge this gap with occasionally steps to just start and keep going afterwards. Yeah, let me put this together. I will explain firstly the first steps, the first tiny steps, then kill the perfectionism. Then afterwards, we will go about build a ritual, not just motivation. And then we will go to the first and last chapter. It's about then celebrating the micro wins that you achieve from these projects that you want to go through. So yeah, let's start with the first chapter. Like I said, the first chapter about having like tiny steps and stuff and how to approach things. I celebrated more my wins when I engaged with a kind of not a system or a habit where like I took the power of just starting for 5 minutes. Like if you're approaching a project and you know how huge it is, just start for 5 minutes. Say, okay, I have 5 minutes limitation of this project and start for this 5 minutes. That gives you kind of a push to just even think about what you actually want to do as a task on this 5 minutes. Also, you kind of prevent yourself of um, thinking or overthinking in totally the project in general and then letting it flop to the dead end and you're just like, why did I even start? That's one way to proceed. The first steps. Another thing what I did is I break it down to small kind of steps or small possible tasks that were achievable, more approachable. That's what actually helped me also. It was more approachable. It was possible to even achieve this task. When you have a big project and you know it can be separated in three parts. Bake the three parts and then separate these three parts in maybe another three parts too. And go with the 5 minute rule step by step through all these. Don't overlook of how much you need to do or how big that project is. If you're going step by step and not even thinking about the further process, just doing the task that you need to do and schedule it down what should be done in this moment, then the first steps are already done. Then you don't need to think of even how to start because then you have like this habit that brings you much more further than just approaching the project and being stuck in all those tasks that you just come up with. So that brings us to the second chapter, kill perfectionism. I have that. I still have sometimes this perfectionism and I'm like, "Oh my god, I want to be perfect. I want to do everything." No, kill that. It's like having stones on your back and you need to carry them. Let them go. Just throw it on the street or just throw it next to the next path you find it and just go your way, please, because perfectionism will not bring you further. Embrace the first ugly draft, okay? For a designer, I'm constantly need to start something or design something and I have this habit of need to look really perfect. The curve and just the edges need to align with them and no, kill these perfect images, okay? No, we will start with the ugly part because if you embrace this ugly part too, that brings perfectionism down and you can approach your projects even better. You can approach this task that, I don't know, idea that you have so much better and so much faster because you're not holding along into an image that you want to perfect it in a way. Look, done is better than perfect because if it's done, it's done. If it's even not perfect or just not even good enough, don't care. I mean, it will be good enough you will not start this task and draft something that will not work. Okay, so if you're starting something and you really work it out, because if you let it done and not go further, the possibility is also that if you go further than that, trying to make it perfect, it can ruin it too. Because I had that personally so many times. I designed a lamp and it was like approaching it, I need to make it perfect and stuff, and I just draw and draw and draw, never satisfied with any of my sketches. But at the end of the day, I took the simplest one, and it was much more perfect afterwards because I put the effort in trying to make it done, not perfect. And that was the best approach I ever did, because the way that I approached it afterwards, building it and just thinking of some solutions for some problems, it was so much easier. Because if I had done it perfectly or make it more edgy and whatever, so if I had needed to solve a problem, it maybe can ruin the whole thing. And I've been through that a lot too. I had project where they were like really perfect, and then I built it and I had some problems. Afterwards, it was really shitty. And for example, I can bring you some. Yeah, that's one of my projects as I did. Look, I'm not proud of this. It should be a soap holder. The bottom is in there. The soap cup comes on top of it, and look, it is not my best work, but I try to make it perfect. And it is, for me, maybe some people will say, oh my god, it's still gorgeous. Yes, but I was not meant to make this holes. I was not meant to make this wibbly whatever. So I was not meant to break it, okay? And because I tried to make it perfectly and try to make it perfectionism, just making it more aligned with a product, it failed apart, and it was not something I'm proud of, because every single time I went through this perfectionism, it happened like that. The lamp, I will show you a picture if I have some, was the best opportunity and best example for this video to showcase if it's done, you don't know what results out of it. That brings us to the third chapter. Build a ritual, not just motivation. Yes, um, with that, it was awful. I didn't have any routine, I didn't have any ritual or whatsoever. I didn't make my research. I was really just trying to do anything, but not the task or the ritual that I'm mentioning now. When I approach design or just in general a project, I go through researches. Some possibility, maybe it's already existing. Some researches, what techniques or some constructs I can put in that make it more unique, or maybe just will help me in the project to be done, not perfect. Some examples also, like drawing quick sketches. Always in my first ritual, doing quick sketches. And I'm not like saying 3 or 5. I mean, really, it can come up to 15 to 40 or 50 sketches. And yes, it can sound much, but you don't know how much actually can come out of it if you're just sketching and sketching. Some are so similar and some are so different, but at the end of the day, you can choose from them and know that one of this will be done at the end of the task or just project in general. So if you're having some doubts of how you approach this, sketch them. Okay, for me, I need to sketch them. Okay, make it more possible to, even if they're ugly, even if they're not making any sense, put them down. You don't know, I had so many projects too where I just put even the ugly ones on sketches, and they turn out much more better and much more efficiently for this task, because I was generally just saying it could not achieve the image that I have in my mind. But because I've tried to make it perfect, I never acknowledge the ugly ones. There are more possible to bring an outcome that hits you different, because the simplicity or just having the calmness to make it more, yeah, that could be working. Let's put this in, and this, nah, we know that's not worth it and we'll trying to make it perfect. No, let's keep that out. That project meant to be done. The perfect one will never achieve his perfectionism because, for real, we all know if we try to make it perfect, it never comes to a satisfying point. What I now currently doing, it's really sometimes hard, and I'm not keeping sometimes count with it or continuing with it, but it is such a game changer for me because I'm scheduling my whole day out. Not even saying one day, I'm making the whole week. On Sunday, I'm looking for the next week, what can be done, what needs to be done, which appointments I have, what need to go through again, and just meetups and whatever. So I'm scheduling every single thing into my schedule. Everything, just everything. I'm making time not even for the project, also for you free time. It means like you need to be having breaks too, okay? And if you're not putting breaks, you will get exhausted really quick, okay? This motivation will quickly go away when you're not even looking. So making a schedule will help you further looking out for your project, and you seeing then in which timeline it can be finished and in which timeline you need to approach a different direction. So yeah, my personal experience, it's something I'm stupidly saying, why didn't I do it earlier or just a few years ago? Because it had changed a lot in general, my day-to-day basis, and it is something where I'm relying now constantly. It is something I cannot live without. The fourth chapter is about micro wins. And for me, I'm a sweet tooth, okay? I love sweets. I can eat whole day sweets, but if I'm eating it already like before my project, it's something where I'm saying that brings us to micro wins. If you're putting like your effort into this project and you're starting it and like you're craving something, try to push that craving a bit behind more. If you finish the task, you're like, okay, now I earned my way to getting myself some sweets. That's a micro win for me. That's my example in general. If I'm trying to make an approach or making a task, I'm trying to put some little, let's say, gifts in between where I'm just saying, yeah, now I deserve to make a break and give myself, I don't know, a piece of cake, a break and going outside, a break with friends. Giving yourself the believing system, or just in general, this kind of a gift system that you build up, you showing unconsciously that you bring yourself to a point you deserved it right now. You're achieved it right now, you can do it because you done the work. So this micro wins brings also to our knowledge, making the work done brings us more into the whole spectrum of the win in general. The things you do them, the confidence rapidly goes upper than you can think, because you subconsciously saying to yourself, you getting the confidence because you showing up for yourself in that moment. And for that, it brings us the confidence, the amount of knowledge, and the belief in ourselves to even achieve or just continuing with the whole project. And that's the point. Trying to prove yourself that you can achieve this confidence, that you can achieve this knowledge, that you can achieve in general just the wins and the whole motivation and discipline and consistency, whatever. So if you showing that for yourself or just making some routes that brings you these whole things that I counted down, these project that you have or the task, and this just the general idea, I can guarantee from my side, when I done it all the time, I done my work. I started it and I continuing doing it. It is helping me and it's doing his best job by just finishing my project. And well, that's actually it. I hope you like it. I hope it helped you in general. I hope that it brings you much more further, and If not, you can leave a comment and saying what actually brought you further. And well, this whole things that I mentioned is based on my personal experience and my personal opinion also. So I hope you like it. Leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you see you soon. Bye bye.